Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger. I am MegaFreak400, and in this episode we are going to do the last side quest, not counting the Black Omen, because that's kind of a side quest because you don't have to do it, but I consider that more of the final area of the game. So anyway, we're going to do the last optional, well again, a lot of things are optional, but the last side quest that doesn't result in fighting Lavos, basically. So, we have this factory, the Geno Dome, way down here at the bottom that you couldn't access until you got the Epoch, to be able to fly at least. And who enters here unbidden? Welcome home, R66Y, or should I say Prometheus? So supposedly the person who owns this place knows of Robo, who it calls Prometheus. That reminds me of Prometheus and Bob from... If you ever watched like the old Nickelodeon shows, Kablam, and they had a bunch of like little short animations, and one that was Prometheus and Bob that had, I believe Bob was the alien, I think, Prometheus was the man, and it was like this alien who was trying to examine or record and do tests on this prehistoric human, and the alien always ended up getting hurt. It was kind of a neat little concept. Kablam was awesome because it had a lot of short little animations. Most of them are very creative and out there. And we learned Super Volt, which is a dual tech between Chrono and Robo, which I believe uses, is it Lumiere and Volt? Or I mean, whatever his Shock. It's either Shock and Lumiere or Shock and Lightning 2. One of those two. Either way, it's a pretty good dual tech. Definitely will be using it later on. So just fight these robots on the conveyor belt. Now this side quest, I really don't like this side quest. It's my least favorite side quest of the bunch. Partly because it's so long, and it's not even that long. It's just, I would say it's the longest. I mean, these two videos are gonna be about 15 minutes each, and some of them only lasted one video. I think the only other one was like that was 2 videos was well, I guess the one that had the last week's was longer, but that was kind of combined with the 2 things I considered. But anyway, I really don't like this side quest. It's very complicated, and it's just kind of annoying. It's kind of an annoying side quest. But it's all about Gaia today. This is Gaia's side quest, and you need him. It's like not like some of them where it's their side quest, but you don't necessarily have to have them. Like I don't think you have to have Megas for the Aussie side quest, though maybe you do, but either way, you definitely need Robo for this for several reasons. And yeah, so you definitely want to have Robo for this battle. So I've been thinking, and again, I said I was gonna do some rants that were kind of based on Chrono Trigger, and I look at Chrono Trigger, and it's an RPG. It's a standard type of RPG. It's got the whole turn-based battle. It's very standard, but if you look at Undeath, it's got so much more. I mean, there's very little things that can alter the endings. It's got multiple endings. It's got tons of text. Like, I think tons of special text, more so than any game at its time. Who you have impacts the game. Like, you get different messages from who you have, and you can play the game so many different ways. It's a very versatile and very innovative RPG, even though it takes the standard RPG format. So basically, what I'm getting at is you have games that have, you have 2 different mindsets. There's those people who want innovative change, and they don't want anything to be exactly the same. And I've said this before, but I'm kind of like getting from a little bit different angle. And I always say balance. Well, I'm gonna explain what I mean by balance in this instance. You have the people who are situation. You have the people who want creative games. They would say that this kind of style of gameplay, this turn-based gameplay, is old and it's stale. And then you have the people who are don't like change and want things to remain the same, saying, no, we don't want to add all this stuff. We don't want new games. We want the same kind of games we had before. Same gameplay, same style, same storyline. Not bad for humans, but can you find your way to me? Well, who are you? So then we have the balance between the two. You have, this is a perfect example. It takes the standard style of RPG, but then it adds things to it and makes it different. It makes it more unique. It's not, it's implementing that change aspect, but at the same time, it's also taking the old. And that's the whole and then it also goes full circle. You have So then you just go to the Lavos disaster. So yeah, humans will die out from pure despair due to the Lavos. And over here is a dust chute, which will take you back to the beginning. You don't want to do that unless you just want to go back to the beginning. And now I have to fight all those monsters, which I'll cut the battles and just show you when I leveled up. But then it goes in full circle, because then you have the people, you know, I said the whole thing about copying, imitation, that you don't want to just copy someone or copy an idea or copy a thing, but you want to take elements from that and implement it. This game is not a copy of Final Fantasy style, but it takes elements from that style and implements it in its own way. And, you know, that's what I think more games need to be. Instead of being black and white and it needs to be changed and it needs to be not, you can take, I mean, people say, well, we're running out of creative ideas. No, we're not. We're running out of the drive to be creative. You can easily, there's an infinite number of ideas to have to be creative. You have, I mean, for example, there's, I can't remember the exact number, but supposedly there's only like so many stories that you can tell. Basic, generic stories, that there's so many plots you can use. But when you look at the amount of books and stories we tell, there are tons of them. More than, there's like 7 or 6. There was a very small number. Why do we get that? Because we combine elements of different things together to make a new thing. The basic structure is there. We have so many different basic genres. We break the, we have games separated in genres partly because of convenience to be able to explain them. We have them separated into genres because it's easier for us, but also because, you know, it's the easiest way of explaining the mechanics of a game. You have the shooter genre is a very a generic term, and it's a very basic term. Platformer genre, the main thing for a platformer is to be able to, you know, jumping. That, you know, jumping is one of the big things. Moving across, you know, racing games. Yeah, you race with the car and you have to win. So you have these generic genres. You take the genre and you mix and match the genres together, and you get something new. It's like with paint. You have basic paint, but when you mix colors together, you get tons of different colors. You have a ton of options to make with colors just by slight little differences. So, you know, basically what I'm doing here is I'm basically taking everything I've talked about in the past a little bit, not everything, but quite a few things to talk about, and I'm mixing them together because they all kind of intertwine. You know, being creative, imitation versus, or imitating something versus just blatantly copying it, and you know, taking something as inspiration. You know, people wanting change and people who don't want change, they all intertwine together, and basically the basic point of it is we need to be more flexible, and game designers, you know, need to apply all of those concepts if they want to make good games. But we as consumers also have to be flexible in how we consume games. So over here we have this computer, which will tell you random information about the dome that will help you out if you need help from that little computer. It can give you information. See, this place is so complex it needs its own instruction manual. That's pretty bad. But anyway, there you have the doors, the conveyor belt. Most of them are pretty basic, but the dolls, you need 2 Poyo or Pozo dolls to be able to... Wait, Mother Brain. Mother Brain? This isn't Metroid. What? When did Samus get here? I haven't bought Other M yet, so I can... Samus shouldn't be here yet. So yeah, we have Mother Brain is in here. There are so many references to different series. I don't think they're necessarily intentional. Maybe not. But anyway, this is the main mechanics, which is really annoying. We have, you can put Robo in an electrocution chamber over there and charge him up. Now here's the thing I realized during this playthrough, and I didn't know beforehand, or didn't really think about beforehand. You don't want to stand there. As soon as you go in, you're automatically charged. What I thought was the longer you stayed in there, the longer you charge. You know, like, there's different things that do that type of thing. Like, if you stay into something longer, you get a longer charge. Which came into play later when there was a long, one of those things that took a while to get to. So what you want to do is you just want to jump in there and then run to where you need to go. You don't want to just stay in there, because the charge will be at its full capacity when you first touch it, and then it will slowly diminish. So yeah, this is another one. That's the one that I had trouble getting to. But right now we can't get there because this conveyor belt is going in reverse. But what's this? It's a secret chamber. And we'll need to be going there eventually. There was really no point to that scene except for that robot is over there. So we'll be seeing that guy later. For now, let's head back down. We can go back up the elevator up to the top chamber, maybe. Come on, go down. And yeah, that laser's blocking it, blocking that path. That we will eventually deactivate that laser. What else have I been doing lately? Just college, and I've been taking. I guess I'm gonna basically talk about my classes real quick. I'm taking a post-production class, which is a lot of film. We're gonna be using video cameras, a lot of that stuff. It's gonna be done with post-production, and it's somewhat interesting. There's another college nearby us that we are collaborating with their students, so it's an interesting class, and I am interested in it. This planet would be no peaceful if there were no humans around. Well, that's true, but it would also be boring. So, and then I'm taking, and to get that switch, you want to run and then jump, pressing the B button to hit that switch. And there's some good treasures in here, including a Zodiac, or no, Mega Elixir, sorry, and a Magic Tab. I'm also taking interactive design class, media class, which is, it's quite interesting. We're doing a lot of, this world could, so basically what this person's saying is if humans were gone, Lavos would have nothing to feed off of, so it would eventually leave, and robots can make a utopia if we left. Which is, kind of a deep thing. It's like, robots can make a peaceful world because humans have flaws, and their flaws are part of the reason why. What the? Soylent Green is people. So yeah, this is a human processing plant, I guess. They're gonna make robot food. I don't know. But there's robots, or humans on the platform, and we have to defeat the central computer in order to stop it. So yeah, interactive media, talking about interactive media, and we're also talking about, getting the generic, basic process of starting, re-examining how sketches and that kind of thing, and the planning process. I'm also taking a religion class, which is by far right now the most interesting class I'm taking. The teacher is really fantastic. I'm with my friends, and we're having really interesting discussions, and it's just a really fun class overall. My friend said it's like one of the few classes the only class so far that he thinks is actually could only be done in college, because of the discussion heaviness. We got facts, but it's way more discussion heavy than any class I've taken so far, and it's really fun. I'm also taking a modeling class for 3D animation, 3D modeling, and nutrition, and online effective speaking, but nutrition, which is nutritiously boring. It really is, but it's a required science. I need to have a science class, and it's easy, and I don't want to take anatomy, which I've heard is really difficult. I used to be really into science and math, and then I got really interested in English, language arts, literary knowledge, books, that kind of thing, and then sociology, history, that stuff, psychology. I'm not really into science or math anymore. So this is where the boss is. We need those 2 dolls to be able to access the boss, which we don't have the dolls, so we'll have to come back later to get into that chamber. And yeah, not much else to say. We're gonna go down this hallway first. Let's see. Do. Oh, robots. But yeah, I really don't like this mission. The future music's okay, but it's just kind of boring, and I'm not really a big fan of it. But there is some interesting dialogue that happens in it, so it is a worthwhile side quest, and you do get Robo's best stuff. But that's about all the time I have. This has been MakeWith400. That is Super Shock, I believe, and I am reminding you that everyone needs a little Gaia in their life.